We're live.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Changing the Lost Smoky Mountain Wilds. I am William Orshani, and I am your storyteller for this Changing the Lost Second Edition Chronicle. And joining me today, we have Julia.
Hi, I'm Julia, and I'm playing Cassandra Scott, the Elemental Polychromatic.
And Holly.
Hi, I'm Holly. I'm playing Marcella Lynn, the Darkling Snowskin.
And Austin.
Meow.
That would be Austin.
I'm Austin. I'm playing Lisa and
Austin?
Frank. And they're cats.
I'm married to a cat.
I'm usually a fox.
And Katie.
Hi, I'm Katie. I'm playing Joe Arbor, who is an elemental notary.
And Jeremy.
Hi, I am Jeremy. I am playing Jackson Montgomery, Marlena Dubois, Ferris Shadling.
And Drevian.
Drevian, I'm playing not a cat. I'm playing Frisian, who is a Darkling Hunterheart.
And as always, Black Lives Matter, trans rights are human rights, eat the rich, happy Envy Month, and maybe don't buy a gun which is illegal while you are currently under a federal indictment.
I'm sorry, what?
On camera.
What?
I'm
Trump-
sorry, what?
Trump said he wanted to buy a Glock 45 on camera, and there's conflicting sources whether or not he did so.
Yeah.
I mean, look,
But
because
he's been arrested.
Yeah, because he's been arrested and is currently under indictment, it is illegal for him to buy a firearm.
I mean, to be fair, Trump gets surges of popularity for doing illegal things because
Popularity is not going to keep you
but enough talking about the forces of darkness that actually exist. Let's talk about the imaginary ones that we can cope with.
yes, fair.
Please, not real life, please.
Yes. So, when last we left off, the group had executed a solid plan to isolate and corner the fetch of Jackson Montgomery, having infiltrated their home and dealt with their immediate security in time to catch them unawares, as they not quite unawares, considering that when Jackson made it there, they actively called their fetch to challenge them to a one-on-one. The fetch, trying to avoid potential damage to its image, called its escort to back off while it entered with a shotgun, which it believed would give it the upper hand, thinking that only Jackson was present, but was swiftly taken down and knocked unconscious by the rest of the motley. We return just a few moments later, with Marlena having, I believe, tied up the fetch and put them privately in their bedroom. Was the goal?
Yeah, I mean, wherever's, I don't know, the bedroom probably doesn't have hardwood floors that are easy to clean.
Weren't we in the garage?
You were in the
garage.
you were in the mud room.
No, yeah.
When you were in the mud room when you assaulted the fetch.
Does this place have like a basement?
Yeah. It also has a mud room, which you had mentioned was a good place to bury someone.
That's true. We can, and yeah, we'll stay in here.
We could just line the room with like tarps.
We'll see if that's needed. I won't have a talk. I'm going to get a chair, a significant amount of duct tape.
Talk to
I'm
Frank.
going to
Yeah, I was about to say Frank had that.
and I am going to affix my fetch to the chair.
You
There's
don't
enough
have to roll.
duct
They're
tape that there
currently
is
unconscious.
very little chance. There's more or less no chance that they can escape.
Yeah, they are currently unconscious. You
Yeah.
can duct tape them quite thoroughly.
Once that's done, most mudrooms have a sink in it. It's gonna
You
grab
know,
Huh?
if you find a good enough preservative, he would make such an amazing sewing dummy.
Thank you, Lisa. But once my
Plasticized.
understanding
fetch.
is once I'm done with him, he could fall back to the bits and bobs that he was.
If you
That's
put
my
enough duct tape
that's,
on it, he'll hold the form.
That's my understanding as far as past records of fetches have indicated, says Tier.
Yeah, well, let's see how this goes.
Apparently, based on my voice, I've turned into Lisa, so we're just gonna go with that.
You did go really Lisa there, so I
Okay.
assume.
We're Lisa now. A lot of
Also,
stuff
that
just
sounds
happened.
definitely like more of a Lisa thing to say than a Frank thing.
It
I
is.
mean, your character.
I know. No, I'm feeling Lisa. We're Lisa now. We just jumped somebody and knocked him unconscious in a mudroom, and now we're duct taping him up. We are so Lisa today.
All right, dope. So yeah, I grab a glass, just fill it full of water, walk over it, and just full on in the face.
Flash it in their face, and they sort of jerk back for a second, come back to consciousness, shake their head.
Good morning, sunshine. So how are things?
I suppose this is the part where you kill me.
Oh no, we're not there yet. Oh, turns out everyone cannot have the room. If I need anything, I will call. I will yell out. Thank you.
All yours.
Everybody comes, exits, shut the door. So, I don't even know what to call you, but it doesn't matter. Here's the deal. That is definitely my instinct to kill you. And I'm not saying that's not going to happen. And you would certainly have deserved it. You could have done anything. You could have changed your name, gone to another part of the world.
I couldn't do anything. If I did anything, that would have ruined the image that I was you and made people wonder where you were. The thing that made me would have come back for me.
If you're as crafty as I think, if you're as crafty as I think you are, in other words, as crafty as I am, you could have figured out a way to make it work. You chose this. Out of many, many options, you chose this. Had you chosen anything else, quietly retiring from the life and doing whatever from that point. Moving to Los Angeles. God forbid getting settling down with a nice domestic life.
Yeah, those were all things you would have done.
That's a lot of things a lot of people. Those are things a lot of people would have done.
If I was supposed to be you, I was going to make it my own by doing the things that you never would.
By being a monster, I understand. But I don't care if you hurt me. You hurt a lot of other people. a lot of other things. All just because you couldn't handle the fact you're not an original.
You could never imagine what it's like to wonder if every decision that you make is yours or the thing you were made to imitate.
I don't give a shit. Because your sob story is what it is. We all have things that could have made us go to the dark side. We choose not to. Point of example, I had, well, you know this, I had a lot of bad things happen in my life. I could have gone very, very bad, and I did make some mistakes in my time. I chose not to. Since then, I was absconded by your creator. And I saw many, many, many horrible things. And now I choose which of them I might be inflicting upon you. This can go easy, or it can go very, very, very slow and very, very painfully. And if it goes easy enough, I'm not saying it's a good chance, but you have the slightest of chances of walking out of here. As long as you walk away and never, you leave the country. You don't go anywhere near anything. But those chances are still very small. So first things first, pulls out a notebook. I'm gonna need all your financial information. I can get it on my own. I'm sure your phone numbers for your lawyers and your accountants and the like are here.
Yeah, you don't really need my help for that.
No, but it'll be easier
Most of
because
it's
I
in
will
my
most
desk.
certainly be firing most of them. Wonderful. I am hoping that you have some information on your bigoted allies that will be of use.
Oh, I could tell you things that could ruin careers, but it would take longer than a short conversation.
I can keep you here for months if I need to. How much of it is on your computers or the like?
Not on my computers. I don't keep things like that in places where they could be easily retrieved by some well-paid hacker. All of the secrets that I can use as leverage are kept in hard copy.
And where is that?
There's a floorboard vault underneath my desk, hidden 3 floorboards to the right.
Wonderful. One moment. I'm going to open the door. Whoever's just immediately outside.
Probably Frisian, just kind of staring.
Frizzing, sweetie, could you go? And I'm going to direct directly where that is.
And Frisian will go fetch it.
Go see if we go see what we have there. No
You-
offense, but
you
I
head up.
am checking your work.
Yeah, you head up to that location and you sort of walk. You stand in front of the desk, step 3 floorboards to the right, and you feel there's a slight looseness under this floorboard. You peel it up, and yeah, there's a small document safe, like the kind of thing that's like yay big, like the side, like large enough that you can shove papers into it and seal it.
Mm-hmm.
With a combination lock on the side of it.
Frisian goes back down and says, "There is There is a safe there with a combination lock.
I just look expectantly.
He rattles off a series of numbers.
All right. If it's allowed, we can always just saw a way in or something.
The numbers he gives you will open the lock if you
Okay.
check them.
I'm sure there are other fetches here in the city. In fact, I know there are. You in contact with any of them?
Not really my business, considering I can't really tell who's what. That's not one of the gifts I was given. In fact, I wasn't hardly given any.
What's it, Joe? What's the last name of
Arbor.
okay, it is. I don't know. Okay. Do you do much business with the Arbors?
Not particularly, considering that they run the kinds of charities and projects that would be considered against the platform that I built.
Fair enough. Don't encounter them in social gatherings ever?
Oh, we pass by occasionally, but there's typically seldom more than a few sniped words.
Got any dirt on them?
A bit. The
All
boy is genuine and honest, at least as far as anyone can tell with their pursuits, but the parents, they're doing the thing that anyone who runs a charity does, using it to make more money without being taxed.
Yeah, they're all fetches.
I can't say I'm surprised. Considering I think I saw one of the arbors in your posse.
Mm-hmm, you certainly did. Well, this has gone remarkably easier than I thought it was going to.
What have I got to gain by lying?
I mean, petty revenge, of course.
You really don't get what I'm about.
I really don't. And that is okay. Because I don't want to. Is there anything else you think I might want to know that would work in your favor?
You're asking me to recall over 20 years of individual activity in the span of a short conversation. I think you'll find more relevant information in my files.
Wonderful. All right. Fair enough. I'm gonna be honest. I appreciate how forthcoming you've been, and how useful this has all been. Can you excuse me for one moment? I'm stepping out into the garage, because the garage is usually where you keep the power tools.
Yep.
And I'm grabbing a number of ones that would be particularly damaging to a body, because I 100% lied, and dragging them into the mudroom. Is this room soundproofed?
Not really. If you start getting to work in there, my screams will be echoing.
It's a good thing you have a very large property then. And yeah, for about
into this, I'll be done.
For about the next, I would say 2 to 3 hours. It is not pleasant to be around the mudroom.
The screams are not pleasant to hear, and they do echo throughout the building. Some of you might wish for some of those earplugs.
Turn up the music, folks. Yeah, that's what I'm doing for the next few hours.
Well, somebody's having fun. Puts on headphones.
Lisa's gonna leave the house.
Listen, Obi made his bed.
He's an inanimate
Cassandra is
object.
leaving as
He's-
well.
She's not going to stop you. She just doesn't want to be around it.
Absolutely fair.
I am going to need you to roll.
I figured.
Fun fact: torturing someone is listed as a 5-die breaking point.
But if it's not as someone in your mind, no, I know.
It's
I know. I'm
there's
aware.
a certain amount.
A sentient entity.
You do currently have an extant. I am forgetting the term. Touchstone.
Yes.
So that will determine
It's a
things when it comes to damage. But for now, just roll me 5
Go.
dice.
5 dice. Sweet. Of course, as we all know, this is where the dice are gonna fuck me.
Yeah, this is where Jeremy gets 5 successes.
In the meantime, Frisian.
I mean, only okay. I will take that.
It could be much worse.
That's only one.
That is, however, still a success. Would you like to take a beat and make that an exceptional success?
Oh man, it's actually kind of tempting. You know what? Yes, I would.
All right.
Do you get to kill your fetch? Come on, live a little.
So I need to look at the ends of this that happen to be. Let's see, where are sample breaking points? I need to find. What page is this on? 104. All right. Roll the change of spirit rating is a dice pool. Just on a attack roll, don't add to the damage. It is just. So you're going to roll me your weird.
Okay.
Would normally be +2, but is only +1 because you have an attached touchstone.
Take out wits. Take out empathy. There we go. Weird +1.
Congratulations, you do not take any clarity damage off of this.
An overroll of darkness, that would have been a double botch.
Yep.
So here's my question. I'm not going to get too deep into the, but when you brutally murder a fetch, does it have viscera?
It does until it dies.
Okay.
At which
Fair
point
enough.
all of the viscera. The thing bleeds until it is no longer able to bleed, and then the blood all turns out to be like mulch.
Okay. So
etc.
I come out covered in oil and mulch.
Before Jackson comes out, Frisian stands there the entire time at the door, just waiting.
Roll me wits and composure, Frisian. I want to see how much of this.
I think it's just Frisian, Joe, and Marcella who are there.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mhm. Yeah.
Because Frank left and Cassandra at least walked out of the house.
Will you select? That's interesting. It
Yeah,
says-
she can be a little buggy sometimes.
Yeah. It also helps if it selects sheet roll and not attack roll.
Oh yeah, that generally helps. Yes.
I was wondering why it was still stuck on strength. What's composure?
Yeah, some of this is a little too familiar. You're going to roll me would normally be a 3-die breaking point, but this is very particular and relevant to you, so you're going to add 2 to make it 5 dice.
So 5d10.
Roll another one. Roll another one.
Oh my god.
Oh, poor Frisian.
That's 4
Oh, no.
successes on your breaking point.
Oh my god.
Would you also like to take a beat and make that an exceptional success?
Yes.
You might as well, bud.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so you are also going to roll your weird, what would normally be +2, but you do still currently have an attached touch. Actually, you haven't encountered your touchstone yet, have you?
Now.
Weird
We've
+2.
been trying. I've been telling you to get on that.
Frisian's touchstone is incredibly vague. Because we're not taking a trip to the Caribbean for the specific thing.
You
So-
want to bet if we find out?
So weird +2?
Yep, weird +2. Congratulations, you also managed to avoid taking any clarity damage.
I love that.
God.
I think every time someone's rolled a breaking point, they have failed to take any clarity damage.
Oh, yay. We're totally fine. Completely fine.
You have flashbacks to torture methods employed during the war.
Now Frisian's standing at the door, less ready to help and more just staring dead-eyed at the door.
And eventually, Marlena
Yep.
emerges covered in mulch and bits of twig and spool and like spare thread and things like that.
Joe takes her headphones off. Is it fun as you thought it was going to be?
I would not call it fun. That was not the point.
Did it go the way you expected?
Yes. Other than it folded very easily. Which I guess, whatever. But no, it went how I expected. It's fine. I'm fine. I'm rich. And apparently I have a whole lot of blackmail to use against some terrible people,
Blackmail is fun.
including potentially the fetches of your in-laws.
Oh, well, in that case,
Spit out a piece of grass. So
you want to take a shower or
I probably should at some point.
because I mean you're kind of making a mess in your new house.
Yeah, I probably should. Yeah, I don't know what else to do right now. So when Frank and Cassandra decided to exit,
Yeah, the screams were a bit much.
I understand. I don't think there's soundproof rooms here otherwise. I need to fix that. Anyway, not that I'm going to be
note
more
as well.
torturing
Tyr would have left with and gone along with Cassandra.
legit. Not that I'm going to be torturing more people to death. Just it's always good to have a soundproof room.
There's all kinds of torture.
You never know what's going to happen.
You know, I did this because horrible actions require horrible consequences. Y'all seem like you're going to enjoy when you get to. No judging, just an observation. Yeah, I'm going to go get cleaned up.
Do you need some help cleaning up that room in there?
I look at it like I'm assuming it's just like somebody shoved like a big tree through an improbably big tree considering the size of the room through like a wood chipper or something like that.
Pretty much. And like bits of a craft room.
Yeah. Like I feel like I can be cleaned up quite traditionally.
All right.
I appreciate it though. And thank you for everything, myself.
You're welcome. After you take some time, I would like to discuss with you my favor.
Absolutely.
But go ahead, get cleaned up, get a little bit of rest.
And yes, I'm going to go shower.
So you get a shower. What is everybody else doing at this moment?
I am wandering the grounds.
Fair enough.
Does this place have like gardens or?
Yeah, it has like a pretty well kept like exterior garden in the back.
Wandering the gardens.
Cassandra walked to the end of the driveway to sit by the gate and just sat down and pulled out her phone and started messing around with that.
Here just sort of walks out and sits down next to her. You all right?
Yeah, look, I know I love all the torture scenes and all the murder scenes and all the movies we used to watch. And I'm a big horror fan, but this is just something different when it's
Seeing
real.
it in front of your eyes, yeah. It's very different.
And I think deep down, even though Jackson was telling us how much he'd enjoy all of this, I think deep down, even he didn't want to have to do this. Like,
I don't know about that one, but
yeah, but think about it. If there could have been a way that the fetch would have just left his life the fuck alone, went on and did its own thing.
I mean, they're very easy. I mean, in the initial, perhaps, but I think at the point of what the fetch had already done, I don't think there were ways that fetch could have, left. But I don't think Jackson is going to accept any of those. There were also, the solution of just shooting them in the head and being done with it.
You don't get answers that way.
Maybe, but you also don't have to torture them for 2 hours after you've gotten your answers.
I suppose that's fair.
My call sign might have been killer, but I don't typically indulge that kind of activity. Not least of which because it's just stupid and dangerous. You're
I
not
wasn't
getting
gonna
anything
say
out of it. Torture is no good for information. Eventually, they'll just say whatever they think will make the pain stop. And you're not getting anything out of it, aside from if you're a sadist, an amount of kicks. And it's not it's not like it's any better at keeping a monster off the street. In fact, if anything, it makes them more likely to break their restraints in frenzy. So, typically speaking, if I've got information I need to get out of a monster, I get it other ways, and then when I'm done, I deal with them directly and quickly, not hour-long torture session.
I know I can't fool myself into thinking that things are just going to be normal, especially she'll just sort of gesture to herself and then gesture to Tyr. But, you know, 5 hours ago, I put the kids on the bus. Like,
Yeah.
how do you handle the juxtaposition?
Eventually, you learn to compartmentalize. The parts of your life that aren't good to look at, you sort of separate.
Doesn't that get tiring?
Oh, all the time, especially when it gets harder to do. But it's probably the only way I've stayed sane.
Do you have a therapist?
I've seen several. Unfortunately, there's only so much I can tell them. Can't exactly talk about my job as someone who hunts down and eliminates dangerous supernatural creatures to protect the rest of humanity to any random therapist.
That's fair. It's not exactly like I could go into any therapist's office and tell them that I spent 4 years as a cup of water.
Yeah.
She will hold her phone out to him.
What's on it?
Currently an email typed up to one of her previous publishers stating that she's back and wanting to get back into the writing game.
I think that's a good start.
Then I think you might like the other tab that I have open. And she'll turn her phone back, hit send on that email, and then she will show him a Zillow page of several different houses in the area they're in right now.
Good. Okay. I mean, yeah, you have the money. I mean, there's no questioning that, but I don't know. Do we want that kind of opulence?
Could really, really rub it in my mom's face.
Oh, absolutely. Just, do you want a house so big that you can hear your own voice echo in it?
No, but the 3-bedroom we have right now isn't going to be big enough.
You were serious about that extra kid.
You remember how rough the pregnancy was, don't you?
Yeah, that's why I wasn't sure if you were serious.
I'm serious because at the end of the day, I know I had a few complications, but I just don't feel like we're done growing.
Fair enough. Although I will tell you, as the youngest of 3, the third child is not always in the best position, at least in odd-numbered.
I remember having siblings. I don't remember where I'm at in that order. I don't remember Names.
We'll figure it out.
I know. I'll look in a different area.
Maybe you can find those memories somewhere in the hedge.
Just not with you, sweetheart.
I can take some medication and be good.
How long does it take you to get that?
I actually keep a stockpile just in case. We do occasionally have to stage rescue missions.
It's okay. Yeah, you just turn him into a drug addict.
I have those medications. Time for a mission.
Exactly how many of these rescue missions into the hedge have you made?
They're not frequent, and I haven't done one in a while. But we can't catch everyone, obviously. Your group being the most obvious example, but I can say that I've stopped at least 2 other people from suffering the same story that you did.
Wait, you stopped? She just sort of. You're telling me that you stopped one of them?
I don't know if it was one of them, Big T, but it was at least some of their servants trying to grab somebody. The one encounter that I think I've had with one of them, Big T, ended with lots of explosives creating an exit.
Hey.
I know that you are trying to. I can't tell if you're trying to explain how dangerous it is or sound macho to me right now.
I'm not trying to brag. I am being factual and honest with you right now.
It just comes naturally.
There's a certain realization with this kind of job that nothing is invincible, and that includes you. As in yourself, talking in the third person you kind of thing.
I got you.
And with enough firepower, you can at least put a dent in most anything.
Put that on a t-shirt.
I can't say I've ever killed one of them, capital T, but I can say I made enough of a noise that we got away from.
I just got you back. Like, it hasn't even been a week yet. So promise not to go gallivanting off into the hedge to go face the capital T. Not yet.
I will consult with you on all matters.
I have a feeling that's about as good as I'm getting.
It is my job, and there are other people who need saving.
Even before I was taken, I couldn't stop you from playing hero. Now you just get paid to do it.
I get paid a lot. Not as much as you did, but... And do, apparently.
Well, 4 years of payments to an account that hasn't been touched, it just sort of adds up.
Yeah.
Imagine if I'd been gone as long as Jackson had.
Yeah. I probably wouldn't be as handsome.
I don't know. I think you'd be able to pull off Silver Fox.
Still.
As for everything else, I am okay.
If you need any help with anything, supernatural otherwise.
Well, duh, you're my spouse.
I mean, yes, obviously, but
You're the first one I'm going to.
I
Well-
include the supernatural in that. I can take it.
I will have a discussion with my motley, and then we can have a discussion on whether you're going delving for icons with me or not. How's that?
All right.
Now get down here and help me pick out a house.
Okay. I'll kneel down and start looking through Zillow listings with you. So, meanwhile, some time passes.
Yep.
Eventually,
Ah.
Marlena, you emerge from your shower.
Yep. In whatever robe, because listen, it may have been an evil thing, but I'm sure it had my sense of fashion. So, you know,
It had your
it
it
couldn't
had your
help
taste.
itself.
It was actively trying to avoid it most of the time, but in places where no one else was going to notice anything, they just went with their instinct, which was also part of your
Fantastic.
instinct.
Fantastic. So yeah. All right, so I'm feeling better. Marcella, you wanted to do you wanted to talk.
Yes, I did.
What can I do for you?
I
In
was
sincere appreciation.
promised a favor,
Absolutely, and I plan to deliver.
and I understand this might be a touchy topic,
All
but
right.
how do you feel about going into the hedge?
Yeah, there is the like all that tension that went away just fully came back into the back and shoulders.
Yeah.
For what reason?
I do not have a motley.
Mhm.
I need to retrieve an icon of mine. And I'm sure you're well aware it's dangerous to go in on your own.
More dangerous than going with a group, I think would be a better way to put it. But fair.
I need some escorts who can help me through.
All right. I said anything and I meant it.
Are you
I'm
sure
a-
you're all right with it?
I am a person of my word, and I do not intend to change that now.
All right. You
I
may
will.
want-
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, she was just going to say you may want to discuss it with the rest of your group.
Absolutely. I was about to say I can speak for myself because I certainly owe you a favor. I cannot commit the others,
I understand.
but I will talk to them about it.
I would appreciate that.
If nothing else, You absolutely have me, and I'm certain that Frank/Lisa will be more than happy to go. So I
I'm gonna-
will. Sir, go ahead.
Oh no, Marcella will just say, I'm gonna step into another room. I'm gonna let you go discuss it with them, all right?
Absolutely.
And she will do
And-
that.
Yep. I'm going to text everyone. Family meeting. If you're available, please be available. Need you to be available. That is all separate texts.
Everything
Because-
but get your asses in here.
Because Jackson is the worst kind of texter.
Well, Jackson did only learn how to text like a couple days ago.
That's exactly why.
But
The absolute dirt worst kind of texter who has to send like 17 messages in a 2-minute period.
I mean, I'm like the big fucking like
That's me.
texture.
That is me. Because that way you're not getting your anxieties of I'm getting notifications are not being triggered multiple times because you can't send one message with more than one thought.
This is why group message.
Sorry.
I love my family. I love my friends, but group text messages are my hell because it's like, fuck you.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Trying
Yes.
to work.
My parents have been on vacation, and like invariably it's at like 6 or 7 o'clock in the fucking morning. Keep in mind I'm a night person. I start getting texts of like, here's what's going on today, and like everybody else responding, and
And
Sorry.
I'm sleeping.
Yep.
But
and I can't mute it because if I mute it, that's my alarm.
yeah. My so Joe is going to because Joe has been on the phone with James, and then the phone just starts like buzzing incessantly, and so she takes it up. She's like, I'm gonna have to call you back. Stay close.
Will do.
This better be good, Marlena.
It's not.
Text back. Where should we be available? Rainbow emoji.
There's a random emoji?
Said rainbow.
Rainbow emoji.
A rainbow emoji.
I'm assuming those exist.
No, I thought you said random emoji, and I'm just like, where are we meeting? And there's like a shoe.
There's this room. Send in the center of the house. Send that has a fireplace. Send that seems nice. Send cool.
Joe texts about,
Response.
there's like
Just to
15
be
fucking
sure.
fireplaces. Send.
There's nobody in the fireplace, correct?
No, send. What? Why would there be someone in the fireplace? Send.
Dot. Crowbar emoji.
Okay, send. We shouldn't be talking about that over text. Send.
Just what?
WTF, because I think he's learned at least that much. Send.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to learn that one pretty quickly.
And then a weird, confusing mix of emojis that you're sure means something, but you Christ forbid if you can figure it out.
Oh my god, that's my grandmother.
Okay. Lisa will go to the fireplace room.
All right.
Okay.
I assume there's like a set, like a
A great hall.
A
yeah.
foyer,
I mean, like
The setting room.
a receiving
like
room.
a sitting
Yeah.
room or study or something like
Yeah,
that.
definitely, obviously.
the meantime, from just outside the mudroom, you can hear a phone buzzing. It's Frisian still just standing there staring.
Oh my god.
And it doesn't know how to operate the phone anyway.
Yeah, once everybody gets there and Frizzy is there, I'm like, oh fuck me. All right, come on. Not come on. Stay here. And I'm gonna go get Frizzy. Come on, we need to
Y'all stay here. I'ma go.
right.
And come back.
Yep.
Frisian slowly comes out of a stupor as you walk towards the fireplace room.
Sweetie, you all right?
The screaming just reminded me of things.
Oh shit, I'm sorry, hon.
No, you did what you needed.
Yeah, you could have walked away. I would not have been hurt if you took some time away from.
I wanted to be there in case you needed something again.
I appreciate that, but you also need to take care of yourself.
I didn't realize beforehand that that's what would end up happening. So
Fair enough.
something to keep in mind for if it comes up again.
I don't think I will be torturing many things to death again. But who knows?
We still have other fetches to deal with, though.
This
Who
is
knows
true.
how Joe wants to deal with hers?
This is true. But yeah, eventually make our way into the study. All right.
Walking into
College. Yeah, go
walking
ahead.
into the study, it's like, also, what was all that buzzing?
Oh dear, that was your phone.
Oh, this thing, and pulls the phone from random pocket.
The 64 missed messages.
Frank, you're on. Yeah, Frank, you are on. You are on Teach Frisian how to use the phone, Dewey. It seems like something you'd probably be good at. But first off, apologies if that was a bit too intense.
Do
But
what you
that-
gotta do.
Absolutely, that is over now. Marcella, I owe Marcella a favor.
Right?
Marcella has something that she wants.
Which is
Go into the hedge and retrieve one of her icons. Now, if you're not comfortable, this favor is only obligated from me.
Oh, I know the hedge pretty well.
I figured you would be on board.
Do we know where in the hedge we're going?
We do not yet.
Does she have a particular door or?
We will have to get that information when the time is right.
Okay.
Once we've decided who all is going.
I think I'd like to.
All right.
Besides, you all need combat capable people in case. Well,
Oh, running is almost always the better solution.
That's
Almost.
very encouraging, and I'm definitely feeling much better about this, those words having been said. All right, so Cassandra, you're in. Joe, no shame in saying no if you're not comfortable.
hey,
To be honest, if I could say no, I would, but I made a promise.
I really don't want to. If I have to, I will.
You do not have to. Again, you're not obligated on this. Only I am.
But what kind of family member would I be
If you do something that you are being given permission to do, I'm not trying to sway you one way or the other. I'm simply saying, if you are not comfortable
Oh, I'm definitely not comfortable.
and you want to say no, I do not blame you at all. And you are not obligated.
Just
Because every fiber of my being says, no, do not go back in there.
I and I can't even think clearly. Can I hit pause on my answer and call my husband?
Absolutely.
Okay, I'm just gonna step
Yes.
outside.
Frisian,
I'm not opposed to it.
appreciate.
Do you want my spouse involved in this?
That's not my call. That is Marcella's call.
Fair enough.
That is Marcella's call, and obviously yours and Tia's. It's a trip into the fucking hedge, and I don't know how deep into the hedge it's gonna be. Like it's one thing I'm going to assume it is one thing to make a quick hop inside, go to a hollow, or I don't know, grab something that's just on the other side, or go hunting for an icon for what you are. This could take a while. So that's up to you. And Marcella, obviously, if Marcella does not want, as always, no offense, a hunter involved.
Well, I'll discuss it with her, but you make a compelling argument.
All right.
Meanwhile, Joe,
Yes.
you step out and call James.
Yeah.
Hey, welcome back.
I really don't know what to do.
All right, well, run me through it.
So Marlena owes Marcella a favor for the information about the fetch.
All right.
So in the favor from Marcella is retrieving an icon from the hedge.
Mm-hmm.
Because Marcella doesn't have a motley, she's asking specifically for Marlena's help in whatever motley members would be willing to go. And I'm the only holdout. And I'm feeling pretty shitty about it, if I'm being honest.
Well, you got two options, really. Either you hold out because you don't want to go, and that's absolutely reasonable for anyone to not want to go back there. Even if I do have familiarity with the place, I understand how dangerous it is and how I would really rather not if I didn't have to. Or you swallow your concerns for the sake of your motley and you follow them into hell. Honestly, I don't know which of those I would choose given the choice. But I do know that if you need my assistance with either of those things, I will be happy to lend it.
Just one of those things. I feel like I should, but I really don't want to. But at the same time, like I
Well, sometimes we do have to do things we don't want to, but sometimes we don't have to do things we think we do.
not even writing in the damn journal and you're still talking in fucking riddles. Jesus.
My big thing is I can't really solve this one for you, but I will support you in whatever you decide and provide whatever assistance you need for it.
Yeah, but will I support myself? That's the question.
Well, make the decision that makes you feel less like shit.
That's not helpful.
I mean, what I have no I don't know where I would be helpful.
If that's the case, you might be more helpful by not putting yourself in danger. If your motley has to worry about you and you don't think you're going to be able to contribute in a dangerous environment, sometimes the most helpful thing to do is to not be a distraction.
Then what the fuck am I even doing here anyway? Like, why?
Because you're family to them and to me. But in situations as dangerous as the hedge, maybe being support from a distance is ideal. You don't always have to walk into the fire, especially when you walking into the fire is going to distract the people who are equipped to do that. But if you feel like you have to, maybe you do. It's up to you.
Feel useless.
You are the furthest thing from useless. Not everybody has to be a combatant.
Well, I still don't know what the fuck I'm going to do, but I guess I have more to talk about.
And if you need to talk the decision through with everyone else, be my guest. But I will assist you with whichever decision you make.
Well, I mean, you're kind of stuck with me. I mean,
Oh, yeah, and you're stuck with me.
no, that's not how this works.
What, you think you can get rid of your pet dragon?
Where are you going to go without the wind?
Exactly.
Okay, this is bordering on precious. I think I gotta hang up now.
All right, well, let me know what you decide and how I can help.
We can't have that.
No, we can't.
Look
I'm
at the
in a
triangle.
crisis. There's no room for precious. So Joe is gonna take a deep breath and she's gonna walk back in and say, okay, I need to talk this out and talk this through. And I need y'all to save the platitudes, and I need y'all to be brutally honest with me, like you already are. But yeah, no sugarcoating right now.
I will try to save my. I will try to hold back on my instinct to spare your feelings, as I always do.
You did. I'm not worried about you. On the one hand, I am terrified of the hedge.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what kind of help I would be, since I'm not any sort of combatant or really have any kind of defense. So I don't want to be another concern going into a place that's already full of concerns and burdens. On the other hand, even if it terrifies me, I am willing to go if you need me, because I do not want to abandon my family. I just want to be where I can be the most helpful. And I'm not really sure where that is.
Here's what I'm gonna say. Everybody else has their own thoughts, I'm sure. Here's what I'm gonna say, and you are gonna get angry because this is not gonna give you the answer.
Oh no, I'm already angry because my husband didn't give me any answers either.
Oh, good. Husband should always trump thing not giving you any answers. So, um, number one, do we need you? I don't know. You would 100% be helpful. Yes. More people is absolutely going to help. More changeling specifically is absolutely going to be helpful. You have many, many talents, some of which may become very useful in what we're going to do, because I have no idea how we're going to do what we're going to do. So who knows? Number two, in favor of the notion of you coming, as much as I wish otherwise, we cannot avoid that place forever. We're going to have to get in there at some point. And I have learned throughout my life that while you don't jump into situations you don't have to, unless you want to get your ass beat, you also do not make a problem go away by pretending it isn't there. And just trying to stay out of the hedge is kind of pretending it's not there. On the flip side, if you're not ready, that is absolutely your call. Nobody's saying you have to do it now. And if you end up going in there, and not saying that you're going to, but if you end up going in there and completely freezing and being utterly being a detriment, then that is a problem. I don't think you're going to do that, but you're going to know better than me. Would I like you there? Yes. Does my wish to have you there outweigh the fact that I don't want you to go somewhere that you are not comfortable being, specifically if that place is the fucking hedge? No. Because again, if I didn't have to go in there right now, I most certainly would not be going. So I can't blame you if you don't want to go. That's my thoughts. everybody else.
Well, Joe, you're good at a lot of things, and a lot of things you're not gonna admit you're good to. You're good at. She wouldn't have made that slip up. I did. But Jackson is right. At the end of the day, we can't tell you if you are. We can't tell you if you're ready to go back in or not. I would like you there, and at least knowing that you're around us would be nice. But I'm not going to make you go in. If I'm in the same boat as Jackson right now, if my memories weren't, gone, and I could remember more than flashes, then I would never set foot back in there again. For me, this is just getting a taste of what it's going to be like. But I don't want you going if you're, I don't want to say paralyzed by fear, because that's wrong. But only you can know if you're ready to go back in. So if you don't want to go, don't go. Hells no, none of us are gonna drag you kicking and screaming in there. We're not them.
My biggest fear? I just found everything again. What if it takes me? What if it takes me again? What if I get lost? What if?
Right. Cassandra's going to be hugging Joe. Shh, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Breathe.
Joe's gonna take a deep breath and still be an absolute mess.
I'm going to go with a no for you.
I think that is fair.
I'll go.
No.
I'll go.
Okay.
I'll go, and I'm gonna drag my husband along with me. Because he said he would, and now I'm holding him to it. And if he can't go, then I'm not going.
I wouldn't. That is absolutely fair.
That's fair.
All right, let's get. I'm gonna text Marcella. We in.
She will text back. When are you guys good to go?
Yes.
All right, I'm coming. And are you guys in a room somewhere?
Yes. Fire
Yeah.
room, fireplace room, study, Center of house, first floor. Slightly off
Just-
to the right. There is overly complicated, and those are all text.
Like
Those are
as
all
as
totally
she's
different
already
things.
walking there, like I feel like she's still getting these.
Yep,
She
100%.
enters the room and there's like 5 more.
The worst part about it, is there was a big group text that was just created with everybody.
Oh,
Everyone
no.
else's
Everybody's gonna
phone
be
is also
involved in
going
it.
off.
So everybody should be aware of the text.
She walks through the door. Yeah, I know where you are. I'm here.
Ah, fair enough.
Frisian's just looking at the phone, completely puzzled.
Fantastic.
Also, would someone have set it to vibrate, or is it set to the default ringtone?
I didn't fuck with your ringtone, so
I also did not mess with your ringtone, so it's
It
whatever
is-
the default is.
it is the
Ding,
default
ding,
of,
Ding.
and specifically, it's the default of because we didn't go to like an Apple store or like the T-Mobile store or something. It is
This
the
is a
default
gas station
for the
phone.
fucking gas station burner phone.
Yep, that's a
Didn't,
noise.
didn't.
Hey, Frizzy, let me see that real quick.
Okay.
Just throw it into the
And so
fire.
We'll get you a new one, I promise. No, she's just gonna very casually set it to vibrate as the messages are still going off. Here you go.
Buzz, buzz, buzz.
I mean, it vibrates, but now it's less annoying, kind of. I'm sorry, Marcella, go on.
Oh no, I was just gonna ask William. Can I open a door to the hedge here?
Yep,
I'm not
absolutely.
sure how that works. Okay.
Open any door and spend a glamour.
Everybody's ready? She'll look-
Oh, I'm
Firing
sorry.
off a quick-
This instant, as I'm like sitting there in a bathrobe still.
Oh, you had said yes. Don't respond yes if you're not
I
ready
need-
to go.
We're ready. We are good to go. No, we all agree, but can we do it somewhere else? No offense, but I would rather not have a door. I understand even a temporary door to the hedge inside my home.
All right, where do you want to do it?
Wherever, let me go get
Go
clothes
get
on.
dressed.
Let
We-
me.
Oh, don't worry. You'll be dressed perfectly fine in the hedge. No one will judge you. At least
Let-
not for your clothes.
there is just like the dead, like a fucking viper snare. It's friend. Let me go.
Go get dressed. You're fine.
Cassandra's gonna fire off a text to Tyr. Going on a little field trip. Don't know when I will be back.
Need my help is the first text that comes back.
Marcella,
Yes.
my spouse is offering his skills.
If you feel comfortable bringing him along, I don't mind at all.
She's gonna call Tyr.
Phone rings twice. Hey,
How do you feel like taking a trip into the hedge?
glad I keep a bottle of that medication nearby.
Me too. Well, we are gonna help Marcella do a thing, so
I will grab some cold iron magazines.
fair enough. Not worrisome whatsoever. I mumble under my breath.
It's our job to try and study and figure out what weaknesses things have.
I know.
Most Fey things have a weakness to cold iron.
I know. I remember. I remember some of my mythology. I don't remember all of it, but I remember a good bit.
Marcella, just so you know, my husband's a dragon, and he's coming with me, or I'm not going.
Yeah, whatever makes you comfortable. If dragons are your thing, go ahead. They're cool.
I mean, they weren't, but they are now.
Hold on a second. I'm not going
I
to
am
miss
a
that opportunity.
dragosexual.
Yeah. So everybody will just hear. Hold on. I'm not going to miss this opportunity. Hey, scaly fucker. What? How are you doing?
It's lit, man. It's lit.
Oh.
You don't even have to smoke a cigarette afterwards.
That was bad. That was okay. You there, sweetie? Yeah, I might need you to hold me back from beating Joe's ass.
Right.
I'd like to see you try.
Let me grab a shotgun and some loads of cold iron and some more magazines, and I'll be there in a minute.
Yeah, that's enough to take down Joe. But what are you going to bring for the hedge?
You really want a dragon on your fucking enemies list, bitch?
So she'll hang up with him. He's in. Let's do this.
It's fine. I have a friend named George. It'll work out okay.
I know a guy with a truck.
I am just gonna text. Joe is just gonna text James saying, "Okay, I'm going, and you're coming with."
All right, be there shortly. Comes back. All right, so for the sake of shortcutting things, everyone gets ready. And eventually you all gather up at a location of presumably somewhere that is comfortable to Marlena.
As long as it's not in the, as long as it's, as long as it's not anywhere on one of his properties, it's fine.
Yeah.
Behind a Waffle House.
You step out. Honestly, you could just step into the woods around your property and find a tree bough that is arched enough to serve as a passageway.
Perfect. I can cut that down later.
Yeah, after a while, both James and Bellona return. James has their sword on their back. Bellona has a variety of different magazines and shells strapped to them with their body armor, and has a shotgun slung over one shoulder, and their regular guns over the attached elsewhere.
All right, everybody ready?
Yep. Bellona says as they unscrew a cap and down a pill, screw it back in, pocket it.
All right.
I'm not even gonna ask.
Look, I'm not attuned to the craziness like you guys are. It helps.
She will go ahead and open a door to the hedge.
All right, let's do it.
Joe is holding hands with James the entire time.
So you all step through the door, and you find yourselves in not in a place that is not entirely dissimilar from where you left, having left from the inside of a wooded area. But immediately as you cross the threshold, everything takes on an air of unreality as plants twist in angles that should be impossible. Colors seem too vibrant to be real. Light seems to come from unnatural directions. The wind itself feels like it dances a jaunty tune. Everything around here takes on the air of an imagined unreality as you step through into the hedge. I would like, just to sort of shortcut the pathfinding here, someone to roll me wits and survival and weird to try and find the path.
Does my hedge sense do anything?
Oh yeah, I have that
Is
too.
that just for finding doors?
Hedge sense. The character is especially skilled at finding her way in the hedge. Gain a 2-die bonus to all rolls to navigate the hedge.
What
And
was the
find-
roll again?
Oh yeah, I
Uh,
have
wits,
have
survival, and weird.
wit, survival, and weird.
Okay, so I get +2 because of my hedge sense.
Maybe my
That-
dice are working this week.
That would put my roll for this at 10.
You know what? I'm gonna take that.
Hey.
Good enough.
Wits,
That
Wits,
was not my
survival,
best roll.
and weird.
survival, weird.
Actually, correction. I would like that to be 0 successes because I feel like she's too fucked up currently
Fair enough.
being in the hedge.
It won't. Why is it not letting me roll 3? Oh,
Weird is sort of an add-on. Hang on.
2
Uh,
successes.
Are we all rolling this, or
Oh,
was
you,
it
you
one
have all
person?
3 selected. Or you did. Hang
yeah,
on.
it's not doing survival.
Oh, hang on. Let me see.
Here we go. Okay, hold on.
There you
Yeah.
go. Yeah. Yeah, if you all want to.
Okay.
And I get 2 as a modifier.
If you have hedge sense.
There we go.
I do.
Yeah, so yes, you get an extra 2 dice on this.
Good lord.
Wow.
Please, Holly.
Ollie.
That tracks.
Yeah, you totally needed our help for this.
Yep. Well, I mean, she's the one who kind of knows where it's at. We're just
I mean, that is also
bodyguards.
very fair. We are just there to be the cannon fodder when the thing attacks.
Yeah, so
You know, I was good at question because I also have the contract pathfinder, but
She does not need to. Marcella does not need to outrun what the keeper that's going to find us. Marcella just needs to outrun all of us.
I was not expecting that.
So, it takes an amount of traveling, but Marcella seems to largely be leading the way, as you might expect, as she is the one who is looking for this particular icon. Eventually, after sort of dodging your way around briars and trying to avoid the sharper bits of the hedge as you walk, you eventually come into what appears to be a small clearing with a set of plant life and briars and thorns that have taken a very particular shape. There is a small pond here in this clearing, and out of it grows a tree that is carved and fluted as if in the shape of an enormous ship that is partway tilted over and beginning to sink within the pool. And nailed to its hull is what looks to be a large piece of parchment with an amount of script written across it. And something that the rest of you notice is that carved into the side of this boat is a phrase is White Star Line.
Bitch, what the fuck?
Oh, we found the Titanic.
And it is at that point that you hear a piercing whistle cut through the air and the sound of a flute being played. As an individual appears on the deck of the ship, just playing a flute lightly as their coat dances on the wind, and you can see long leaf-like hair flowing out from under their pointed hat as they take the flute off their lips and look across the group. Well, well, well. I think it's about time that you came back into the fold, mon cher. And that's where we're gonna take a break. When we take our break, you take your break. So sit up, switch your legs, do whatever you need to do, and we'll be back in just a few moments.
We're live.
Welcome back. All right. So as the Pied Piper has threatened and said that it is time to return to the fold, mon cher, this is where we are going to, even though the Pied Piper is a German tale, this guy is like Cajun for some reason. Everybody's going to roll me some initiative.
Oh fuck.
Initiative. Do. Oh, I have 70 million tabs up.
Oh,
Which
I
one of them
didn't.
is the rolling things tab?
Where?
I didn't
Why can I
click my
never
thing.
fucking
Did I
find-
do
oh,
this
see,
wrong?
There
the
is
big-
no
that's
thing
it.
to click, is there?
There's an initiative button at the very top of your character sheet.
Right, but there's no token of what we're talking
There's no token or anything.
No.
I got
Okay.
11.
10.
And it's wits, dex,
It's a D10 plus your wits and dex values.
or dex composure.
Or dex composure, yeah. It's a
Dex
D10 plus your
composure.
dexterity and composure values.
Okay.
This is the one that I don't get because there's literally just a single button you push. You don't have to configure anything at all like the other stuff. You can just push the one button. It's actively harder for you to do it that way.
Hi, have you met Austin?
Yeah,
Okay.
I understand. But I also don't.
You've seen his phone.
We have.
Understand my struggle, people.
But that's not even technophobia. That's just obstinance for the sake of obstinance.
Again.
Okay.
I made
Exhibit
a choice a while ago.
Where do you what do you think technophobia stems from? It's obstinance in the face of practicality.
I mean, in fairness, you're doing it the harder way. Did give you the best initiative.
Yeah, so again, at the top of the initiative is Frank, followed by the Pied Piper. As the Piper plays a note, you hear the howling of wolves and the shrieking of birds in the woods. But it is your turn, Frank.
Still Lisa.
Yes, Lisa.
Lisa's been very well behaved.
She hasn't done anything too crazy yet.
You had
Actually,
to
no,
go-
we're in the hedge.
Yeah.
I'm both at once, aren't I?
Yes, actually, you are
Oh.
both.
You had to go and say that she was well behaved, and now let's see what's gonna happen.
She's gonna hopefully help kill the thing, because Lisa will actually fight. As we've seen before.
So, step one. How far away is this Piper?
So the pond is not super large. It is maybe like 4 yards between the edge of the pond and the edge of the Titanic. The tree Titanic, the sort of like just sticking out of the
God.
pond.
Pre-Tanic.
But
We have the alternate subtitle for this episode.
he is standing on the upper end of the deck, which puts him at about, and it's in miniature. It's not like a full-sized cruise ship. It puts him at about 10 yards above the surface of the water.
Full size ship. Good news, guys. It's only going to take us 3 hours to get to this fight.
It's the full Titanic.
Who's got a fucking iceberg?
If thorns and brambles were to grow out of this water and yank him into it,
Theoretically, assuming what features would you be doing such with?
thorns and brambles.
Is that one of your contracts, or are you just trying to attack him with
Contract.
hedge?
It's a
Yeah.
contract,
Yeah, okay.
and it's specifically a contract that works in the hedge.
Yes.
And I am actively looking up how the
Oh, yes,
pony
thorns and brambles, yes.
that works, because there's like 3 different thorns and brambles I can do, and I don't write things down very well.
Contracts. I believe that was a contract of sword. Maybe?
A
No, it's
war contract. Oh, this isn't old.
Let's see. Thorns and Brambles is on page 141 of the Changeling book. Here we
Okay,
are.
yes, I
it is
can
a
get
shield
Briar.
contract.
Shield contract, yes.
Brambles grow around the Changeling with a radius of yards, meters equal to their weird rating, and follow her as she moves. They can produce 3 different effects listed below. The Changeling chooses one when they invoke the contract. If you use it in the hedge, the Brambles don't follow their movements, and she must contend with their threat as well. So yeah, you can create a dangerous field of terrain. They do not follow you in the hedge. They've just become a terrain hazard if you summon them.
Yeah, but I can summon them on him, and he'll probably not want to stay in it.
No, they grow around the user.
Oh.
And they have a radius of yards / meters equal to your weird rating. So they grow in the X number of yards around you.
Okay. Well, in that case, well, Frank's the gunman, so that's actually a great question. Is who gets to control this round? Okay, Frank's in charge. So we're just gonna shoot somebody because someone gave me a handgun.
It did.
Did we happen to get cold iron rounds from?
You have not been given cold iron ammo at the moment.
Darn. Okay, well.
That said, you have a fairly standard weapon. You have a light pistol. So that is going to be if you want to put the weapon in your weapon.
I'm doing it right now.
Attack roll. It is a type gun. It has a +1 damage modifier.
Cool.
And its capacity, capacity is medium. That doesn't matter as much. Initiative modifier is 0. Strength requirement is 2. And size is 1.
Awesome. And so it would just be what, firearms and dex?
Yes.
And do I add the damage value?
The damage value becomes an extra number of automatic successes, assuming you hit.
Sure. I'm pretty low on power. Let's not spend willpower. Okay, so we'll
now are you shooting? So as you look around, you can see there are a pair of briar wolves that are closing in from the outside angles, and also a pair of vile shrikes, these sort of human-esque looking bird creatures circling in the air above. Are you shooting at any of those 4 or at the Pied Piper?
Piper. What kind of would it be? Some what kind of called shot would it be to shoot his flute specifically?
You would be imposing a -3 to try and hit a held object on your roll.
I'm not that good a shot. I'm not that good a shot, but I'm also not that good at making decisions. Okay. Yeah.
You're gonna try and take a shot at his.
Yes, that would be the one on the screen.
Okay. Was that going to be a chance roll?
No.
You just only had 1 die.
Yeah, I normally have 4 dice.
Okay.
I'm an okay shot.
The you level your gun trying to aim at the Piper's flute and fire, but it goes wide. And he on his turn sort of shakes a finger in the air. No, mon cher. I think you don't understand. When I say it's time to return to the fold, you had best either surrender or choose to die. And he will play a note. And as he does, he is going to make a clarity attack on Jackson.
What the fuck did I do?
It's going to be Double check the rules on clarity attacks because this is relevant.
Seems personal, targeted. I'm here for it, but
Page 104.
How dare you do exactly the thing I would have done as DM?
pretty much. By the way, is it fair to assume that I was able to grab my fire axe?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
All right, so he's going to roll his attack, which is going to be 8 dice.
I'm sorry, what did you just say?
It is 2 successes.
You're gonna love my next character.
Jackson, roll your weird flat because it would be +1, but then it's also -1 because of your touchstone. You hear the song of this pipe as it attempts to sing damage to your mind, but you manage to close it out and avoid taking any clarity damage.
With my 0. Oh, okay.
Yeah, the more weird you are, the more susceptible you are to clarity damage.
Yeah. That's yeah.
His clarity attack applies extra dice to the roll. The more successful he is at hitting you, but he only got 1 extra success.
Okay, fair enough.
It is now Cassandra's turn. Oh, 1 second. I need to roll Bologna into the initiative and also James. That tracks. Roll a 1, why don't you?
So you said he's about 10 yards away from us in total?
Yeah.
Cool.
But he's about Pythagorean theorem of 10 yards up and 4 yards out.
A square.
116 square root of that is not a lot more than 10 yards.
Yeah.
I'm going to use.
Good
let
to
me
know that
double check
James
the
and
wording
Bologna
on
are
the thing.
going at last in the initiative. Because they both rolled the same at 7.
I was about to say get good scrub, but that's my
Funny.
that's my spouse. Oh, what am I worried about? So Cassandra's gonna hold out a hand. And he's on a lake, right?
Yep.
Okay, bad mistake. Don't fuck with a water changeling on her territory. So I'm going to use elemental weapon, specifically the third dot of it, which is hungry leaping flames. So I'm going to make a
The Elemental Warrior merit has a bit of a bias on which element it expects you to be using.
oh, does it now?
Considering the name of that ability is Hungry Leaping
Well,
Flames.
I mean, if you go to the last part, it says flammable objects can ignite. Cutting winds may knock over unsecured
I'm just
objects.
saying by the
and so
name
forth.
of the ability.
Oh yeah. They definitely have.
Like there is not one water name in the list of abilities on Elemental Warrior.
Nope. But I can make a melee attack at 10 yards. So coming from the water is even closer. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Unclick that. Unclick that.
Right, so make your attack with your sword from the water. His defense is 4 right now.
Okay. Oh boy. What else do I have in this roll?
So you'll be subtracting 4 from your dice pool.
Okay. Oh yeah, it's melee, not weaponry. Or brawl, not weaponry. Okay. -4.
Is it?
Oh, or weaponry. Never mind.
I was about to say.
Cancel. Every extra dot counts here, folks. Okay. Can I spend a willpower on this?
Absolutely. You're making an attack.
-1. Submit. 1 success.
Which
Oh, I
weapon
did
were
it.
you
I-
using?
Yeah, I did that wrong. Hold on.
Yeah, you choose the weapon, and it
Yep.
just extends the range of the weapon.
Yeah, it's gonna be my sword.
Yeah, I thought so.
So let me. Oh, never mind.
I mean, you can still use that same one because you had it right.
Okay.
So 1 success plus the damage value of your sword is 3, so that would be 4
3,
total
yes.
successes.
Yep.
His armor is 2/2, so, and it's not ballistic, so he reduces that 4 damage he would take to 2 points of lethal damage as you sort of swing your blade up, and from the lake around the Titanic lashes up a wave of water in the shape of the arc of the sword that crashes across him. That does cost a glamour to make that attack.
Yep.
Which then brings us to Marcella. It is your turn.
All right. Marcella's going to walk over and say, I think you better listen to him. She's going to use her Aikido to throw Jackson towards the Piper.
Yep.
So what do I need to roll for this?
Traitor.
Jackson, what is your defense?
That would be 5.
All right. So you are going to. This is a surprise, so you're not going to get your full defense.
Yeah, it is.
You are going to roll dexterity and brawl minus half rounded down 2 minus 2, unless you want to spend a willpower to make it.
I would like
Well,
to spend a willpower.
You also have a specialization in Aikido, so +1, so minus
So it's
1,
+1.
and then you add another 3, so you're at a total of +2.
Okay. Seriously? Well, 0 successes.
Uh,
Darn.
So as the person who had guided you here reveals herself as a privateer, and Marcella steps forward and attempts to sweep Jackson's leg out from under them and send them closer toward the Piper who would capture them, Marcella, being an inherently untrusting individual and in an inherently dangerous environment, might not have seen it coming, but definitely reacts on a hair trigger and manages to jump clear of the attempted throw. It is now Frisian's turn.
You're the
That's going-
Piper. I want this one.
This one's closer though. And Frisian's is a brawler.
Yep.
So Frisian's going to attack. Going to spend a willpower to attack Marlene. Not Marlene.
Marcella.
There are two privateers. Surprise!
That would be fantastic.
All right.
Jackson's
So-
the
Sounds
only
like I
one
would
that
be
really
here
wanted to
for
get
this.
out.
What,
So
Johnny?
Marcella's defense is 6. So you're going to beat a -6 on this.
Okay.
With your willpower spent, that'll be a -3. That is still a hit. And you're
Well,
using your
folks,
claws.
This is where we die.
Yep.
So, Marcella, you will take a point of lethal damage.
Okay. Oh, should I have cleared my health from last session?
Yes, that should already be gone. So you're
Okay.
just going to have...
Okay, I'm assuming you're doing things. Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
Because I start clicking. Okay.
With that out of the way, Marcella, or not Marcella, Marlena. We're going to keep getting those names confused.
Not for long.
Vex and Vax.
Yep.
Oh, bitch. All right.
I
I have a fire axe.
Here we
Yes, you do.
go.
One attack has been made on Marcella right now, so her defense has been reduced to 5.
How psychotic is Marlena feeling right now?
Extremely.
You can choose to all-out attack if you want to try and get a better chance at hitting your target.
Which does what, remind me?
You sacrifice your defense, but I believe it's an extra +2 on the attack roll, if I'm remembering right, Julia.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
And that can stack with willpower.
I'm aiming for a leg.
Let me check the called shot penalties. Chronicles of Darkness, attacks. Called shot. I believe that leg called shots are not
Leg is -2.
-2 for leg, yes.
So that evens it out with my... Yeah, this is going to go great. So attack roll.
That would so if you go all out and willpower, that'll cancel her 5 defense. If you then aim at the leg, that'll put you at a -2 flat.
Dope. Yeah, because I feel like there's 7 and I need to get rid of some. So this is gonna be, it's not a chance roll.
Yeah.
But it is gonna be 1 die.
Fair enough.
Wait, no, that might not be accurate. It might actually be a chance roll. It's -2.
Yeah, it's -2 is your total modifier right now, unless you're aiming just for the body.
Yeah, that is going to be a chance roll then because I'm at 3 minus. Yeah, no.
Accidentally hits Frisian with the fire axe.
Oh fuck it. Hey, body works too. We'll get to the legs later.
Fair
when
enough.
you're down.
So that's going to be a flat attack roll.
Okay. Of course I missed. Wait a minute. Why is there a minus?
Hang on a minute.
That doesn't make sense.
Is the axe heavier than your strength? 1 second.
That makes sense.
Yep. The axe requires a strength of 3. You have 1 strength.
Yep, that's definitely a thing. Oh, nice. It pre-calculates the fact that it's a chance roll then.
No, it just didn't roll any dice.
Didn't it? Because
No, if you mouse over, you'll see that there were no dice in the pool. So it would be a chance roll unless you wanted to use your gun instead.
I don't know that she actually brought the gun.
Would you have left a gun behind going into the hedge?
Yes, because humans are not necessarily tactically minded creatures.
Fair enough.
But we had time to prepare.
And my gun was back at my other place. Like, no, I don't feel like the gun's here.
Fair enough. There were guns everywhere, though.
First would have, like, if you had said you didn't have a gun, First would have given you the one given to him.
Oh, no. Wouldn't have said that they didn't have a gun because they didn't plan on bringing one.
Okay.
Fair enough. So that would be a chance roll then if you're using the axe. So you just switch it over to chance and roll it.
Yep. Whoosh.
But that does reduce Marcella's defense down to 4 for the rest of the round. It is now the Briarwolves. As one of the Briarwolves that the Piper has charmed begins to make their way. One charges at Cassandra. What is your defense, Cassandra?
6.
6. All right. So their dice pool of 10 becomes a dice pool of 4. So that is going to be 4 lethal damage coming at you with the damage value of their claws, with armor piercing of 2. So it will reduce the amount of damage that's reduced by your armor by 2.
So I take 4. X is lethal, right?
Yes, X is lethal.
4. We're not doing good, folks.
It is Joe's turn.
Joe had been trying to figure out what the fuck to do.
Or
That's more Katie actually trying to figure out what the fuck to do.
okay. Not to be is Joe the bottom of the round?
No, Joe's not the bottom.
No.
But near the bottom, like we're
Near
still
the
on
bottom,
round
yes.
1.
Yes, you are still in round
Correct.
1.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be a dick. I'm gonna be a real dick.
Yes.
And I am reflexively gonna unravel the tapestry. This
All
whole
right.
round didn't happen.
Back to the top.
What?
What?
Everything that just happened.
2 glamour and 1 willpower, and I rewind to the top of the initiative round.
Do we know what happened, though?
Only Jeremy.
And I immediately shout out privateer and point at Marcella.
So, the tapestry of fate unwinds. Everything that had just happened, the seconds that had just passed, the Briar Wolf closing on your ally, the attempted throw on you, the Piper playing its tune, everything winds back. You watch as if the sands of an hourglass flowing in reverse, all of the action undoes itself, and you find yourself standing once more in the position when this fight had started. And in the last moment you have to attempt to react as time resumes, you shout
Kill the bitch,
warning.
she's a privateer.
You shout the warning to your allies. Back to the top of the round, Frank, it's your turn.
So because he said that changes, that would affect what we can do, correct?
Yep, you have been informed that Marcella is a privateer before Marcella has gotten the chance to act.
Actually, I don't even know that it'd be privateer because I don't know that Jackson knows that term.
Yeah, I don't know that you know that term, but you do know that she's
Kill
a
the
traitor.
bitch, she's a traitor.
What?
I thought you liked me. You don't want to come back home?
What do you mean by come back home?
Bitch, this was never home.
Someone misses you, Jackson.
It is your turn, Frank.
Kill the bitch.
Oh, I see.
Do you? Can you enlighten the rest of us?
Is there anything around here resembling a doorway?
Not in this particular area. There are doorways built into the fake Titanic.
Is there anything resembling a doorway near her?
Not immediately.
Darn. Okay. Yes, Cameron, thank you. Well, let's see if I can operate a computer.
Is everyone fine going a little bit over to finish up this encounter?
Sorry.
Yeah.
No, I appreciate it. Thank you. I took a really big hit there.
Anything that was spent or any damage that was taken is undone as we return to the top.
Does that
Okay.
mean my damage too?
Yes, yours too.
Yes.
All right. I apologize. I completely forgot what I was doing and how to operate a computer for a moment. I'm back. Okay.
Keep in mind, if it turns bad, I can only do that one more time this fight.
It's cool if it turns bad. I can do that too.
Oh my god.
I do the. To be fair, I do the opposite and go forward in time.
Let's see if it's Frank or Lisa today. It's still Frank. Well, Frank is generally the shoot people guy, but there's an immediate pressing threat. So he's gonna step over and try to physically restrain this Marcella.
All right. So go ahead and roll me a dexterity and brawl.
Cool. I'm not getting my claw specialization, I presume.
If you're not trying to claw them, no.
I'm not trying to claw her.
So, Marcella, would you like to receiving throw?
Yes, please.
Using your Aikido? So
Yes,
go ahead and roll me
please.
your dexterity and brawl you with your Aikido bonus.
Three successes.
One.
Only the one from. I need to pull up Aikido again.
She tosses him like a football.
Pretty much.
I'm an excellent cat thrower.
You are. Lily will attest to that.
And which age was which book was Aikido in is now I have to figure out.
I don't know, because I was looking earlier.
I think it's Armor Reloaded.
I think you're right. Armor Reloaded, there you are. Yep, you are correct. Aikido. Okay. Harmonious energy, dexterity, and brawl. You exceed the opponent's damage roll. Character immediately applies either a grappling hold or a shihonage now that you have it. So you can go ahead and roll another dexterity and brawl because you exceeded his attack with your Aikido bonus again.
Okay.
What's your hang on a minute before you finish rolling that? What's your defense, Frank?
That's a good question. Wow. 3 apparently.
You are at a -3 unless you would like to spend a willpower to negate that.
I will spend a willpower because I'm probably dying here today.
Yep. Okay. So you'll add and actually have a +1 because of your Aikido bonus. So you'll be at +1.
Okay. 4.
All right. So with 4 successes, you are thrown like a football. What is the You are also thrown 4 yards away in any direction of your preference. What direction would you like to throw the cat in?
Away from everything, I think.
Away from everything or into the Titanic?
Actually, no. Where's
Because it's
the
only a
Piper?
4-yard distance before the Titanic, where the Piper is standing.
Yeah, let's throw him to the Piper. Think fast.
You don't have quite enough successes to get him up to the Piper, but you can get him
That's
onto
fine.
the deck of the Titanic. As
There was a cat on the Titanic.
As Frank, you find your feet leaving under you as you attempt to grab Marcella, and she uses your weight against you and hurls you through the air. You find yourself tumbling head over heels for a second before you land hard on the deck of the ship, with the Piper looking down at you from further up the deck. You take 4 points of bashing damage.
That seems like a problem. Okay.
The Piper, having seen the situation unfolding, puts the pipe down for a second and just pulls a gun out and points it at Marlena.
Well, that's just not fair at all.
What the heck?
He is not as good with a gun as he is with his pipe, though, so he's only getting 4 dice on this.
Me either.
There's going to be 3 lethal damage.
You cannot set up that kind of innuendo and not have people react to it. Ow.
I personally am grateful that we're not getting piped down by the Piper.
I mean, there's a problem if either one of them go off prematurely, so.
God damn it, Katie. I love you.
Not the kind of piping I was hoping for, but sure.
Cassandra, it is now your turn.
So it's going to be very quick, and the words "to think I liked you" for a second, and we're gonna go straight through with that sword.
You don't want to come home either?
Now, you have sacrificed your defense for that receiving throw, so this one will be wide open.
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh, good. You'll be wide open for the attacks. Fantastic.
I'd like to spend a willpower. 8 damage.
That's 8 lethal damage coming at you.
Okay.
I'm sorry, you said a sentence that immediately threw into blood rage.
That's fantastic. That's why I did it. Okay.
I'm pretty certain that takes you
I
out.
think it does, yeah.
Yeah,
in fact, you only have 7 health boxes, right?
Yes, yeah.
So that fills you and turns one of them into aggravated.
Okay. I don't know if I just did this correctly. Thank you. Okay, sorry.
One of them becomes aggravated.
Thank
when
you.
they all become aggravated, you die.
So yeah,
Good
there was
to
a
know.
very
Soon.
quick turn and through the chest.
Very soon.
It is now your turn. You need to make me what's the roll to stay active? Hang on.
It's a stamina roll, I believe. I should know. I made enough of them in that one scene with Adele. Think it's stamina.
I think you're correct, but let me find out.
Roll to Darkness book. That probably only the first. Oh, there we. No.
God. These are the things about the World of Darkness book being a nightmare to try and navigate.
Have I ever mentioned how I fucking hate that they don't put basic rules in every source book?
And I just spent the last round of fighting trying to figure the fucking thing out. And
Injury and healing. Like, say what you want about the
Yeah, it's a stamina roll.
say what you want about the old the old World of Darkness books, and they have their flaws.
Is it straight stamina?
Yeah, it's just straight stamina.
Oh, that's not good.
You will need to add 3 because I believe it doesn't count your wound rating.
Adding or subtracting?
Put a 3 modifier in there because you won't want to count your wound rating, but it will do it automatically.
Okay.
But
Okay,
yeah.
again, adding or subtracting here on
Add 3.
Okay,
Add 3.
sorry.
But like, there are flaws
0
with the old
successes.
World of Darkness books. But you know what? You know what's great about them? You can literally set a World of Darkness book in front of you, open up to an approximate level if you know the books, where like combat is in every single one, and you'll get pretty close.
So you are not able to maintain your consciousness. You fall unconscious.
That's real unfortunate for you.
You also take another point of aggravated damage as you continue to bleed out. So the next box turns into aggravated, which I just did for you.
Thank
So
you.
I'm gonna say Cassandra just sort of puts her foot and just pulls that sword out as she goes down.
Yep. It is now Frisian's turn.
And Frisian lunges.
Deal with the Piper.
Can I even get
This
to the
one's
Piper?
down. You can fight.
You could theoretically get to the Piper if you swim the distance or leap or fly
Or
I'm not gonna clear
something
the
like.
distance. Or you could fire a gun.
I'm gonna go run and claw at the Piper.
All right. What's your normal speed?
That's a good question.
Your normal speed is 10.
Also, there are going to be Browolves coming.
excuse me?
Or wolf things, because I don't know what a Browolf is.
Yeah.
Maybe I do. I don't know. Maybe I do.
Actually, you probably do know what a briar wolf
Yeah.
is because you've probably taken care of a couple of them
Yep.
for your keeper.
There are Browolves coming. Couple of them.
Is that exactly what it sounds like?
Yes.
It is exactly what it sounds like.
Oh,
Remember that bit when I mentioned running was a good idea?
Yeah, we got one thing we need to do first.
Cassandra, can you roll me a reflexive wits and composure?
Oh no. I sure
and
can.
Drevian, your speed of 10 will get you most of the way up, but unless you want to spend your action this turn on covering further distance, you will not be able to get to
Actually,
the-
if we just want to murder the traitor and run away, that is also an option.
You don't have to murder anyone.
No.
we do.
We have to murder someone.
She was very helpful for you guys. I mean,
Yeah,
you know,
two
she gave us
successes.
so
She
much
wasn't.
information. Yeah.
Cassandra, you have a realization. That bit of script nailed to the boat. It's not Marcella's icon. It's yours.
Y'all are gonna hate that I say this, but I need that thing on the boat.
After several
Well, it's a good
Big
thing that I
come
managed
on.
to get myself to the boat, says Frank mildly sarcastically.
Oh shit, you're on the boat. That's right. So, all right. Go
That's-
help, Bridget, go help Frank. Because I will be useless in this spot.
So you
You know one thing I am good at as I heft the axe.
You can climb. Your speed of 10 will get you most of the way up there, but unless you want to spend your action to move further, you will not get all the way up.
I will get over there, and I will use my action to consume another tuft of fur from the stuffed things from Jackson's to activate my contract for
Excellent.
for my clause.
Yep. You,
will
you
fulfill
fulfill
the
you
loophole.
fulfill the loophole. Is there a roll involved, or does it just activate?
It just activates. I
Cool.
will spend an additional glamour, so my claws are now poisonous as well.
Very nice. Marlena.
I have an axe. Marcella has a head. There are one of
You
these
probably
two
don't
things
for long.
will not continue.
All right, so you're gonna make a killing blow.
You break the axe on her head.
Swing away.
A character can make a killing blow when her opponent is unconscious, completely immobile, or otherwise totally defenseless. When doing so, the character deals damage equal to her full dice pool plus her weapon modifier. You just deal that damage because the opponent cannot get in your way.
No attack roll.
No attack roll required. You just deal that damage. Whatever your full dice pool is, plus the weapons modifier.
Does willpower? If I spend willpower, does that increase the
Yes,
modifier?
I will say it does.
All right. So that is strength. That is. It's strength melee, correct?
Yes, strength weaponry.
Strength weaponry, which is 0, +3 for willpower,
-2 for the strength penalty. So you're at 1.
No,
And then-
-1 for, or yeah, that's right. 1 plus
the
3
axe.
for the fire axe, so 4.
Yeah, so you immediately take 4 more levels of damage.
Okay, well, am I dead yet?
1, 2, 3,
Just barely
4.
not.
You can take 1 more damage before you die. Marlena is not the most sturdy of people and is just kind of flailing with the axe.
Listen, I'm a lover, not a fighter.
Hacking at my head, trying to.
Yeah, huh?
Yeah.
I wonder if
Direwolves
that
are showing
wakes
up.
you up. I'm kidding.
Direwolves are coming in and are once again trying to attack Cassandra.
Mm-hmm.
So that once again brings them down to a roll of 4. That is 3 lethal damage instead of 4 with that same 2 armor piercing. Oh, unless there's a thing that I should let everyone know. There's another way that you can spend willpower in combat, which is to increase any kind of resistance trait that subtracts from someone's pool, including your defense, by 2. So if you spend a willpower on this incoming attack, you can increase your defense by 2 to further reduce their dice pool if you wanted to.
Yeah.
All right, so it's going to be 2 dice they have to try and hit you with. No successes. You take no damage.
Running really, really low on that willpower.
Joe,
Yes.
what are you up to?
I am trying to figure out how I can use any one of my wind powers to get the thing off the boat for Cassandra.
Well, let me look.
And if not, I'm just gonna, slit Marcella's throat with a knife. Either or, I'm flexible.
Because your primary method of interacting with the wind right now is elemental weapon, I would say that it would be difficult at the moment to just grab the thing without damaging it. So you could just try and kill Marcella. Kill Marcella.
Okay, let's do that.
Once again, you make a killing blow, and your strength in weaponry plus the knife is more than 1 die pool, so Marcella dies.
Hi.
My head.
Really get to use my knife.
Also descending on their turn comes a pair of vile shrikes. A pair of half human, half bird looking monstrosities that descend from the trees. This creature is going to attempt to attack Marlena. Marlena, what is your defense right now?
5.
5, so they're going to be at -5. Boof. That's bad.
Well, that's unfortunate.
What?
Actually, I will ask the same question of you. Would you like to spend a willpower to reduce their attack pool by a further 2?
Weirdly, no.
All right.
I don't think she's expecting it. I think she is fully 100% focused on the dead body in front of her.
All right, so that's going to be 8 bashing damage.
8 bashing. Okay,
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4. Then they turn to lethal. 5, 6. I'm full up on lethal because I already had 3 lethal.
right.
So I had 4 undamaged boxes. They turn in, if I'm understanding correctly, they turn into bashing, and then the 4
start turning
overflow
into
turns
lethal.
it into lethal.
Yes.
I'm full up on lethal.
All right, so you are now bleeding out.
Uh-huh.
Any further damage will turn into aggravated, and
Correct.
you'll take 1 aggravated damage every round until someone stabilizes you. And you have to make a stamina roll to remain active.
I like the idea of like the camera is like looking up from at Marlena as she's like staring down where it, and then you just see whoosh like out of frame, and then a motherfucker.
We need to get her out of here.
You're damn right, Tyr says, as they pull up their cold iron assault rifle and are going to take a shot at the Pied Piper. They're going to put a willpower into this, which is going to add an extra 3. And actually, it's going to be 4 because of their specialization, because of their marksmanship specialization. And will deal 6 aggravated damage to the Piper, whose playing becomes immediately discordant as he takes damage from the Bane material and screams. And he just sort of signals, James, if you can do medicine, I need you to stabilize them and start dragging them out, because it's time for us to leave.
Drag it. Sorry.
Yep. James is going to roll a medicine roll. Fortunately, he's good at that. He's going to put a willpower into it, too. Hell yes. So with an exceptional success, not only do you stabilize and stop bleeding out, Marlena,
Okay.
you also turn 2 of those lethal damage back into bashing.
Nice.
And he will begin to drag Marlena away from this fight.
I reach out and just grab the head as I'm being pulled along.
Frank.
Joe is going to go right along with that trio.
Yeah.
Okay.
Plus the head.
So I don't want anyone to follow us. Someone's distracted, and I'm already right here. I need that flute.
Oh no.
What the fuck?
He is injured and distracted. What are you aiming to do about it?
I'm aiming to take that flute and start playing some jaunty tunes on it.
Maybe don't use the summoning flute.
Hold on.
Yep. Maybe.
Oh, I am so playing so many jaunty tunes on that flute. It's a Lisa round, baby.
We're all
Roll
gonna
me.
die.
Oh my
No,
God.
it's fine. just Frank Lisa is gonna die. The rest of us are running.
Roll me
Well,
dexterity.
and you because yeah.
Roll me dexterity and brawl because you're specifically trying to wrestle the pipe out of his hands, and this is going to be opposed. But he's also injured.
I am so willpowering this too.
He's also injured at a -1 right now, so his pool's gonna be
Marcella
really good.
all of a sudden is
And
glad that she no longer has
And I'm
hearing.
hoping that he's not expecting this. It's 3 dice for willpower.
Yeah, adds an extra 3 dice. He has 1 success.
Wow, buttsicles.
You have none. Yep.
That was bad.
It's the way it goes sometime.
So you try and wrestle the pipe from his hands, but he is able to hold on to it. And now it's his turn. And he flicks the pipe, and a knife blade projects out of one end of it, and he tries to stab you with it.
Well, now you especially need the pipe.
What is your defense right now, Frank?
I almost think Lisa would be less interested in the knife than the pipe.
Okay, he's gonna have a bad time trying to do this. But he still gets 1 success, so you take 2 lethal damage, reduced by if you have any armor where you're wearing.
Huh.
Which we had armor.
Yeah, we all got those flak vests. Cool.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so
2-3.
And his knife does not have armor piercing. So
Wait,
the flak vests are 2-4, right?
Yeah.
Am I getting that right, Julia? The flak vests are 2-4?
2-3.
2-3?
2-3.
2-3?
Yeah.
So yeah, you reduce that damage to 0. But it was lethal, so you still take a point of bashing damage.
What if I don't want to take a point of bashing damage?
Unfortunately, that's how that works.
Darn. Okay.
And then it is Cassandra's turn.
Oh, I don't like this. I don't like this. This is a bad idea. Yeah, we're abandoned. We're running from the wolves. We're going straight into that lake.
All right. Are you running to try and grab the script?
Yes.
Just roll me dexterity and athletics. Or strength and athletics, whichever you're better at.
It's the same roll either way. And I'm going to spend my last willpower. Two successes.
All right. You scramble up the side of the boat and snatch the script from the nail that has been nailed to the side of the boat on, and hold it close to your chest as you splash back down into the water.
Is that my whole turn, or?
You've used about, your speed is 11. You've used about half of your speed, so you can also scramble back out of the lake if you want.
Yeah, let's scramble back and be a target again.
All right. Turn to the mortal world. Okay. Yes, you'll have to get out of the hedge before you can fully reclaim the thing.
Yeah.
If
And now
we
it is-
absolutely need to, if things go really, really bad at this point, I can rewind one more time. Just FYI.
Marcella's dead, so now it's Frisian's turn.
Frisian, seeing Marlena get dropped, turns around and sprints back towards that way, catching up with that group.
All right. Marlena, you're no longer bleeding out, but you are still full on at least bashing, so roll me a stamina check.
Yep,
Compensate for your wound penalty.
which is good because I'm just gonna roll 2 dice.
Okay, you are not currently active.
Nope. I'm conscious and I am bitching up a fucking storm.
but not able to do anything this round.
There is
Honey, I'm
there
so
is
glad you
n-
brought her back. I really am.
there's an inordinate amount of words that I personally would not say that are being spouted at this head that I am dragging with me.
Thinking about it, I run up and catch up to the group. Can I grab Jackson's feet so we're carrying him instead of just dragging him?
Yep,
Because that seems
absolutely.
slightly faster.
Yep.
It would be just my luck that in the process of the drag there is like a stick that is jutting in the wrong direction that I get dragged onto and stabbed and die.
Okay, so now it is the Briar Wolves. Bologna has revealed that they have cold iron weaponry, so the Briar Wolves are going after them. Their defense is 6, however, so this attack is going to be 2 successes with the armor piercing, but fortunately Bologna is completely uninjured, so can take that lethal damage and is not even on a wound penalty at this point. Joe,
Yes,
you're moving with your husband.
I am.
Doing anything else, or just helping to drag Marlena?
I'm helping to drag Marlena. And just like not even like I've tuned out the bitching.
It's probably
But-
for the best.
The Vile Shrikes are not inherently cooperative, and the playing of the pipe has been disrupted. So, with the Pied Piper interrupted, they're just going to fuck around for the turn. Bologna is not leaving until Cassandra does, but is going to further try and interrupt the Piper.
Oh, I got bit by a wolf. I'm gonna shoot this guy still.
Yep, that's a trained Network Zero hunter. Identify the important target and take them out. They're going to spend 1 more of their remaining willpower. For the remaining required 2 damage to fill up the Pied Piper's health box and send them down. James is continuing to drag. Frank,
There's no one stopping me from getting that flute now, right?
not really.
All right, let's flute it up.
No.
Let's see what happens.
Oh no.
God.
Oh
Roll me
no.
manipulation, expression, and weird.
Manipulation, not my best stat, but I've got some really good expression.
We're gonna break that pipe, right?
Pardon? No,
At this rate, we're just gonna leave Frank behind.
this pipe is awesome. It does cool things. I need to figure out what those things are. Let's spend a
God.
willpower. Okay. And I get 2 more. Okay, 1, 2,
exceptional
3, 4,
success.
5 successes.
With an exceptional success, you can expend 2 glamour to impose your will upon the nearby beasts for so long as you continue to play this pipe for the scene.
All right. Yes, please. I'm spending my 2 glamour. And
Right.
they're going to dance.
All right. The Briar Wolves and Vile Shrikes break off their attack and begin to dance.
Now, for the Briar Rolls, is it like 4 legs like moving around, like prancing around dancing, or are they up on 2 legs?
Oh, yes.
I feel like the Briar Wolves are definitely up on 2 legs.
Yeah, are they? Yes, specifically, are they doing the Thriller?
Yes. And I am playing the Thriller.
Nice. It was all worth it.
With that, Cassandra, what are you up to?
Frank, we need to get the fuck out of here. And
Is this Piper still alive?
Technically speaking, but he's bleeding out.
Okay. These winged things are gonna pick up this Piper, and he's coming with us.
Yeah. No, he is fucking not.
This is the best.
You are fairly certain that the Piper will bleed out before you get out of the hedge.
Look, I'm gonna bring him to the rest of the group, and the rest of the group can decide if they're gonna medicine him or not. Okay? I can't
Not
talk
much.
because I'm busy playing a cool pipe. The Piper is flown over to you and laid before you.
Dude, I like the idea. We're all in the process of running away. Some of us have guns, and what we see are the Shreks are down, pick it up, and start swinging. So he's like swinging from his shoulders, like he's swooping in at us, and just gets fucking obliterated with gunshots.
Look, I'm not going to be accountable for what you guys do to this man. I'm just delivering him to you.
Turn around.
I
take the
may
block,
have
like,
intentions, but I'm not
target
that worried
practice.
about it.
So yeah, Cassandra.
so there's a Pied Piper laid at my feet.
He's being carried over to you. Yes.
What the actual
Shoot him,
fuck?
Shoot him. Shoot him.
I'm not gonna shoot him. I'm gonna
Gonna
wait until he
stab
gets
him.
close enough and just stab him.
I'm not picky.
We are definitely more of a stabby motley.
We very much are.
Actually, no, I am wrong. The Pied Piper is already dead because I forgot that Bologna is firing cold iron rounds, which means that was all aggravated damage.
To be
okay,
fair,
so
would we know the difference?
You probably would, yes. There is not blood continuing to pump. At least not as much.
Oh,
He
enough.
still goes still.
All right, leave him here.
well, in
Yeah.
that case, okay, let's see who's making decisions right now because that's going to be relevant.
Oh my god.
Okay, Lisa's still
Lisa.
making decisions.
Oh,
Okay, in that case, the Strikes are going to come over and we're going to like do the pose where they lift me up under the shoulder and I'm doing like the one leg on the knee, kind of like comic book float over pose as they carry me back to the rest of the group and then fly off.
You're fucking flying with a dead body?
No, they didn't.
They're carrying Frank and they're carrying Lisa instead of the body.
Can we please
Please.
leave?
Yes,
Yeah,
let's do that.
so grabbing Lisa by the shoulder and begin pulling to run.
So you flee. You find the nearest gate out of the hedge and exit. When you do so, a couple of things happen. The pipe is a hedge artifact and not something that actually has a mask, and it is not a token that you have imbued yourself with. So it comes apart.
So there's so I would have a vague knowledge. Would I know that this thing can't be taken out of the hedge?
Yes, you would know that if you take this thing out of the hedge because it has not been imbued as a token, it will unravel.
Do I know how to imbue something as a token?
You would have to spend experience and take a lot of time.
I am going to find a portal and shove it into my. I'm going to find something that looks vaguely like a doorway and put it into my hollow.
All right.
So as we near the exit that we came in, Frank will look down at the pipe, side to side, walk over not so sneakily to an
Frank, what are
archway
you
and just
doing?
stick the pipe through, and then take the hand out, and the pipe's no longer there.
Oh, okay.
That's fine.
That's fine. Can we just get the fuck out of here?
Please.
So you all leave, and when you exit the hedge, you find yourselves based on where you are. You exit the hedge and find yourselves
In the year 3530 AD.
it has gone from morning to evening in the
Okay,
time that you've been there, and you emerge in one of the public parks in the middle of Knoxville
That's worse.
with one of you
That's-
severely injured
And holding a head.
and holding a severed head.
Happy Halloween.
But Cassandra, as you exit the hedge, that script that you're holding bursts into glowing sparks, and those lights suffuse you as you recover all of your willpower, and your maximum clarity goes up by 1,
Oh,
as you have recovered an icon.
oh my.
Awesome. How do I adjust that on my sheet?
Bonus clarity points is in the settings tab. It also restores that part of your heart or mind that was missing, which in this case contains your memories of your family, which you will now need to figure out what those are.
As soon as we come out, I immediately rip my shirt off and I'm wrapping the head in it.
And with that, that is where we will end for the week.
All righty.
Say goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
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 Bye.